afternoon. Welcome to Awaken the World Quick Talk. Change your mind, change your life. Here live on the Awaken the World YouTube channel. It is 4:44. Hello. Jackie, I see you're there just above YouTube's annoying we've seen this message for months. We get it, YouTube. Let it go. And speaking about let it go, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, including letting it go. And Kim is here as well. Hello, Kim. You know, we love seeing you guys. We really do. Even if it's just your icons, at least we're able to communicate. And really, as long as I know you're there and you're kind of, believe it or not, it kind of connects us. It really does, right? So this is a really powerful message, and we'll keep coming back to these things in the form of these quick talks, which Kelly mentioned to me today that she felt they were a really good idea. And, you know, I'm full of good ideas. So, you know, I kind of expected it to work. The reason being is it's really focused on just one subject. So it's easy to get some quick information on just one subject. And yes, I love being able to see the comments instead of not being able to see them on Facebook. So you'll notice the change your mind, change your life almost looks like a reflection in a pool, right? And we have to talk about the mind because we are a microcosm of the macrocosm, okay? And if you're not sure what a microcosm is like a microscope, right? Very, very, very tiny. And the macrocosm is the one, the wholeness, all of it. God itself, that sea of consciousness. That sea of consciousness, we are the manifestation of the supremely powerful mind of God, the mind of creation itself. We are literally the manifestation of that. We contain all the same material that exists everywhere in the universe. And yet we are primarily empty space. Your mind is as immensely powerful as the mind of God. It truly is. Our collective minds are manifesting our reality here on the planet. And your so-called individuated mind is manifesting your reality and many of the aspects of the collective reality right now. And you see, the issue is until you begin to wake up to the reality of what's actually going on, the manifestations, the creations of your mind have been wholly unconscious. And you can never, ever, ever look backwards and blame or be upset with yourself or get into, and you know, I've seen Kelly do this. It's like she'll go back in the past and it's like, well, I should have done this. No, you did exactly what you needed to do at the time, and it happened exactly the way it needed to happen. The bottom line is this: when we begin to wake up, we were offered the opportunity to get in line with that cosmic mind and begin to create our reality, to co-create it together consciously. And it's not some big spiritual woo-woo event. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I personally enjoy my spiritual woo-woo events. You know, deep moments of Satori, etc. But this isn't really about that. You see, that which seeks to be enlightened is already in a state of enlightenment. It's just unaware of it, and that it is that sense of I. Now, can that sense of I achieve enlightenment? In what is enlightenment in relation to that sense of I? Well, in reality, what we're talking about is a sufficient change of mind so that the mind stops resisting the flow of that creative sea of consciousness. Because you see, we have free will. And free will is more of a universal concept than it is a limited concept to humanity. Free will is our way of saying that you can never be limited in what you choose. If you choose to be in alignment with that quiet, soft voice within you, wonderful. If you choose not to be in alignment with that quiet, soft voice, wonderful. Why? Because when you're not in alignment, the very processes of life itself will bring you back into alignment. Balance and harmony are the natural state of being, not the aberration. So, change your mind, change your life. What are we talking about? We're talking about our perceptions. Now, our perceptions come in all sorts of flavors. You know, there's chocolate, there's vanilla, there's raspberry, and not really. But there are perceptions that we have bought into, that we've been sold by our parents, sold by religion, sold by education, sold by societal programming. And then there's all the unconscious things that we take in without even realizing it that become part of that underlying programming. And all it really takes is bringing it into the light of awareness and being willing to look at it objectively and closely to see if it's real or valid. Now, as long as you're coming from a deeply unconscious state, even if you realize that you can change your mind, you have a lot tied up in the perception of reality. Why? Because it's our creation. In the same way, our Creator has everything tied up in its reality. Why? Because it's its creation. So we attach a lot of ourselves to our perceptions. We form a lot of the opinions about ourselves and what we're capable of doing, in who we are and who we're not, all based on the way we think. Now, you and I all know that the egoic self is essentially insane. And yet we've been allowing it to create reality all along up until now. No wonder the world appears to be in a mess. The beautiful thing about it is in the same way that we can change our mind, not only do we change our lives, but we begin to change the lives around us too. And over time, with enough of us, we can literally change and heal the face of this earth. Letting go of perceptions can be difficult because, as I said, we've tied ourselves to them. Play this game with yourself a little bit. This will really help to work on changing your life. Step 1. Take a piece of paper and write, "Is this worth suffering for?" ? And put it in your pocket. Take it with you everywhere you go. And before you engage in anything, and at any time that you find your mind beginning to run amok, pull that piece of paper out and look at it and answer the question. Step number 2. When we feel deeply about things, that is an indication that we've tied a lot of our identity to that particular perception we have. Recognize those things and ask yourself, what would happen if you let go of that perception? I hope this has been a really informative little talk. I hope it gives some concrete ideas and directions you can take with the mind. Of course, meditation, bringing the mind to a place of stillness, retraining the mind after years of running amok. It is not the enemy. You are not to throw it away. You are to befriend it and work with it and train it. It truly wants to serve you. It really does. And all this time, it believes it's been serving you in the best capacity it can. And it has. But it's not the truth of who you are. You are so much larger than that. All our love this beautiful Thursday. Namaste from both Kelly and myself. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another Quick Talk.